Hi, this is Jeff Howald. Today I'm going to show you a couple of very basic chords on the banjo. This lesson is aimed at someone who has never held a banjo. If you need to tune up before starting this, there's a banjo tuning lesson available on this site or at freebanjovideos.com. Let's begin with the easiest chord of all, which is the G chord. Since the banjo is tuned to an open G, we can strum the strings and have a G chord without actually noting any of them. We'll be strumming on the first 4 strings mostly during this video. If you happen to include the 5th string, that's fine, but I just wanted to let you know that. Before we get started, you'll notice I have picks on my hands, and if you want to know about picks, just go to the free lessons at freebanjovideos.com and you'll be able to see pictures of how to put the picks on and various other things. Now, if you don't have any picks, you can just take off your thumb pick, because mostly what we're going to be doing is just strumming, and you can strum without a pick or you can use a pick. It's up to you. That leads us to our first chord, and you'll notice that there's no fingering for the first chord. It's a G chord. And just to kind of get in practice, let's strum from the 4th string down. And if I was playing a song with a G chord, I'd do a nice steady strum like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's go to the next easiest chord, which is a D7th. Now, when we play the D7th, we go to the 2nd string and we put the index finger on the 1st fret, 2nd string, and the middle finger goes on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. All right, now what the frets are, of course, are these wires, and you want to get your finger as close to the fret without being on top or touching the fret. In other words, you want to note the notes about right here as opposed to back here. Okay, you won't have to press as hard. The second thing is make sure that your fingers are arched so that you don't hit an adjacent string. For example, if I was noting that note, I wouldn't want it to be touching the 2nd string either. In this case, we're playing the 1st string, 2nd fret. We want a nice clear sound there, and we also want a nice clear sound on the 2nd string, not this type of sound. Okay? So anyway, so that's the fingering for the D7th chord. And let's just go ahead and strum that a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And once again, you can strum down from your 4th string down, or you can include the 5th string. Okay, now let's say that we were at a D7th chord and we wanted to make a C chord. Well, that's pretty simple. What we do is we lift up the middle finger, and you'll notice, aha, the index finger is still on the 2nd string, 1st fret. We take the ring finger and we note the 1st string, 2nd fret. Okay, that's the ring finger. And we take the middle finger and we note the 4th string, 2nd fret. All right? So it's real simple to go from a D7th to a C chord, assuming you're in the D7th position. Okay? Now, if you want to practice making your chords in the air, the best way to do that is to shake your hand, make the form, in this case a C, play it on put it on the fingerboard, shake it, put it on the fingerboard. Now, if you can't do that, just make the chord form and move it maybe an inch away from the fretboard. Okay? What we're practicing is being able to make this chord in the air. So you can do that with the C, you can do it with the D7th. All right? Now, let's go to the E minor chord. That's pretty simple if you happen to be in a C, is you just lift up the index finger, and you'll notice that the ring finger's noting the 1st string, 2nd fret, and the 4th string, we're noting the 4th string, 2nd fret. Okay? Now, of course, if you're in an E minor position, all you need to do to get to C is just put down your index finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Okay? All right, I'm going to play each of the chords 4 times so you can see what they look like. Here's the G, of course. Now we'll play the D7th. Then we'll play the C. And then we'll play the E minor. Now when you're doing that earlier exercise where you make the chord and shake it, you can either just put it on the fretboard like this, or you can actually play it. So in the case of going from a G, you can go to a C. And if you're about to make a C chord, for example, we keep the chord form fairly close to the strings, like this, as opposed to, and then the C chord has to come out of nowhere. We're now going to play Tom Dooley while Bert Casey sings along. This song uses the D7th and the G chords. Use a steady strum and play along with me.
1, 2, 3,
G.
4. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down
D7.
your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley.
Play along with me.
Oh boy, you're bound to die.
Do it again.
Met her on the mountain. There I took her
D7.
alive. Met her on the mountain. Stabbed her with my knife.
Now we'll do once for each beat.
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom
D7.
Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to die.
We will now play Sitting on Top of the World, a song which uses all the chords we've learned today.
1, 2, 3. It was in the
G,
spring, one sunny day.
G,
My good
C,
gal left me, Lord, she went
G,
away. Now she's gone.
E
Now
minor,
don't worry, 'cause I'm
G,
sitting
D7,
on top of the world. She called me
G,
up from El Paso.
C,
Come back, Daddy. Lord, I need
G,
you so. Now she's
G,
gone.
E minor,
Now don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world.
Well, that should get you started. If you want to learn more about the banjo, go to freebanjovideos.com, which has over 20 free lessons and also has premium lessons.